Welcome to Orlando Attractions Magazine, the show.
This week, Mardi Gras is the main event at Universal Studios.
And the voice of Wendy speaks with us as Peter Pan's Diamond Edition hits store shelves.
As always, we've got the latest theme park news, travel tips, a giveaway, and more coming at you.
So think happy thoughts. We're sending you a bit of pixie dust your way, and it's off to Neverland.
This week's show is brought to you by MouseFan Travel, an authorized Disney vacation planner. Let them plan your next trip at no extra cost. For a free quote with no obligation, visit mousefantravel.com.
Filmed among the aisles of the happiest store in Florida, the show comes to you from Theme Park Connection, where you can buy, sell, and trade Disney items. Visit the warehouse here in Winter Garden or online at themeparkconnection.com. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Banks.
And I'm JeniLynn.
Well, this week it's another one for the Book of Banks.
The Book of Banks?
Book of Banks, yes. It's like a Broadway show.
That's adorable. Do, pray tell, what is the latest chapter in the Book of Banks?
The latest chapter in my book is that I got to do a commercial for Fun Spot. I did one for them back in 2010, and this year I had the chance to do it again. The Fun Spot style, it's Gangnam style parody. We posted a story about them filming it on our blog. They're asking for dancers to come out. Several people came up to me, actually, because I was wearing an attraction shirt.
Because you're a dancer?
Because I was a dancer, but they came up to me. They came up to me and said, "Oh, I found out about this through your website. Thank you so much for posting about it." Some people even came up to me because they recognized me from the show. Specifically, shout out to Melissa, Iris, and Terrell. Terrell, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I consider them friends now. So I hope to hang out with them some more. The commercial is Fun Spot. It's so Fun Spot. It's great. I love their commercials so much, and it's on their Facebook and YouTube right now. And check it out because they make some really unique commercials.
Thanks. You're in a commercial.
Yes.
That's legit. And so much fun.
I wish you could have been there.
I wish I could have been there too. I was working.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but yeah.
It was fun.
Yes, it's lots of fun. Possibly being the reason for calling it Fun Spot. Why do I feel like the word fun is being overused? Why don't we save that word for the end of the show? And right now we'll talk about the latest news in the queue. In recent years, we've seen the start of a trend with Disney basing feature films on attractions in their parks. But for the first time, Disney will be creating a TV series based on an attraction. ABC has ordered a pilot for a new drama with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad as its backdrop.
Now, the drama focuses on a late 19th century New York doctor and his family who are given the opportunity to relocate to a frontier mining town run by a powerful and mysterious tycoon.
Ooh.
As they make this transition in their lives, they quickly realize that not everything in Big Thunder is as it seems.
Actually, I feel just kind of hooked right from that little blurb you gave us.
Yeah, I hope there's some sort of like runaway mine train element to it.
There
I mean, obviously
has to
that can't
be.
be it's not going to be the main focal point, but
No.
there's got to be some sort of, it's a mining town, so.
So the mining train should be in there.
But it'll be interesting to see them expand on this story of Big Thunder. I guess that's what they're going to be calling the town, Big Thunder. I wonder if they're going to make the mountain look like the mountain in the parks.
It's got to make an appearance in there somewhere. It
I hope
just simply
so.
has to. I love it. I love it that Disney has been doing this. I feel like, the attractions are great. Standing alone, they're great. But when you have a context to put it in, I appreciate the ride so much better when I have that. I have enjoyed Pirates of the Caribbean, the attraction, so much more since the movies have come out.
Right.
Because I feel like there's a bigger story, a bigger context to put the experience into, and I appreciate that.
And they're already, like, with the Big Thunder ride here at Magic Kingdom, they're already updating it to add a little bit of a backstory about a powerful tycoon named Barnabas T. Bullion, so maybe
they'll be putting them together.
Who
I
knows?
hope so.
Who knows? Well, jumping from the small screen to the silver screen, Disney is also creating another feature film. This one isn't based on an attraction, though. Instead, it is titled after an entire land in the parks. Tomorrowland, that is.
Now, it's unknown if the film actually is going to relate to Tomorrowland at Disney parks. The rumor is that it may be about Walt Disney's creation of Disneyland, the park.
Yeah. Now, the film will be released on December 14th, 2014, or December 19th, 2014. Got the little dates mixed up. And it's going to star George Clooney.
Ooh, he's going to be Walt Disney?
Well, we don't know that. I mean, that's just a rumor that he might be Walt Disney. No one knows exactly.
We just know he's going to be in the movie.
This is a secret project. Damon Lindelof is writing it, and it's going to be directed by Brad Bird, who directed The Incredibles and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Amazing director, so I can't wait to see his take on it. But they're keeping it very secretive. That's Damon Lindelof's style. You know, he did Lost as well. So they like to kind of keep things, you know, just secretive and then kind of release it in little bits, hint toward what it might be at.
It's, talking about hints, on our blog with the post that was about this particular article, they mentioned that the director, Brad Bird, and the Larry guy.
Damon Lindelof.
That one. They tweeted out pictures of a box that had 1952 printed on top of it. 1952 was supposed to be the original title of this movie, and they've changed it to the name Tomorrowland. But on the top of the box had 1952 on it. Inside the box had little mementos of Disneyland park things in it.
Little things that had to do with, you know, that might have to do with the plot of the movie. Who knows? Only time will tell.
Let's hope so.
Yes. Well, we won't have to wait that long for the newest attraction to befall the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Everyone prepare for an encounter of the fowl kind. Now that's fowl, F-O-W-L, because Angry Birds Space Encounter is coming this spring.
There aren't many details on the new attraction, but we're told that the popular characters from the Rovio entertainment game Angry Birds Space will be brought to life in some shape or form, creating the first comprehensive interactive Angry Birds attraction in the United States.
I love Angry Birds. It's
I've
such
never
an
played
addictive
it.
game. Oh, there's 4 different games of Angry Birds. You've got the original, you've got Angry Birds Seasons. Oh, actually, there's 5. Original, Angry Birds Seasons, Angry Birds Rio, based on the movie Rio, Angry Birds Space, and now Angry Birds Star Wars. And once you play one, you're going to get so addicted you're going to download all 5.
Probably shouldn't start then.
I
I
wouldn't.
just have no time to be addicted to anything else.
So I'm very excited because it is the first comprehensive attraction based on Angry Birds here in the U.S. They have a whole theme park overseas, but it's the first time we're getting something, and it's going
Wait
to
a
be so close
second,
to
hold
home.
the phone. They have a whole park on Angry Birds?
Oh, Angry Birds theme park. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh yeah. That's all. Like I said, I'm excited. Maybe you'll have like real slingshots. You can hurl like stuffed birds out and knock things down. Who knows? I can't wait to check it out. And we're going to be giving away actually 4 tickets to the Kennedy Space Center later on in the show. So if you want to go out and see this for yourself in the future, stay tuned later. We do know that this whole Angry Birds Space Encounter will be specially designed to engage children.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, though, Universal Orlando is holding an event specially designed for adults. We're talking about demon possession, brainwashing, and schemes to steal your sister's fiancé by claiming your unborn child is his.
Whoa, what?
Or, more specifically, we're talking about a Days of Our Lives soap opera fan event.
Ah, soap operas, yes. It's all happening at Universal on Saturday, February 23rd.
The event will provide an opportunity to meet the stars, attend a Q&A session at both City Walk and Universal Studios, and see the celebrities in the Mardi Gras parade.
Oh, catch beads.
Exactly.
Tossed by
They'll
the
be throwing
stars of the
beads,
show.
thrown by Marlena and Sammy and
I have no idea
Bo
what you're
and
talking
Hope.
about.
Days of Our Lives. Get with the
my
program.
mom watched it when I was growing up, and every time I heard that, like Sands to the Hourglass, that was my cue to like, okay, I'm going to go to my room.
Okay, so I used to babysit a cat and dog for a while
Okay.
when I was in college, and during the hours that I had to babysit these precious animals, that was the only thing on television to watch. So I got pulled into the whole Bo and Hope plot, and Marlena becoming demon possessed by Stefano, the very evil Stefano is crazy baloney. All right, well, see our blog to check out the full schedule, stars that are set to appear, and more details for this dramatic affair.
Well, with possibly less drama, but equal amount of entertainment, we have some great concerts scheduled for this weekend. Everyone can look forward to bands, brew, and barbecue at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, featuring the Beach Boys at SeaWorld on Saturday, the Bare Naked Ladies at Busch Gardens on Sunday, and Styx at SeaWorld on Sunday.
And Mardi Gras at Universal Studios has the Steve Miller Band taking the stage in their park on Saturday, and Boys Like Girls performing on Sunday.
Now, speaking of Mardi Gras, we sent Patrick out to Universal Studios to catch this year's opening weekend.
This is an Orlando event that I haven't been to yet,
Really?
so I really can't wait to see what Patrick has for us.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're here at Universal's version of Mardi Gras. Now it's the first night here, so we're going to check out some great music, some good food, and some great entertainment here at the parade. So let's see what's going on in Orlando's version of the Big Easy. I think I found my outfit. Does it work? I think I need more. Hi there, I'm here with Laura Wallace, show director of this year's Universal Mardi Gras. Now I know every year Universal Mardi Gras is centered around a specific theme with corresponding floats and costumes. Can you tell me more about this year's themes and some of the floats and costumes we'll be seeing?
This year's theme is colorful cultures from around the world. It's a tongue twister. We celebrate Chinese New Year, which is going on right now. We celebrate the Day of the Dead, the Mexicans' Day of the Dead. We celebrate jazz and blues from New Orleans. And of course, the elegance and beauty of India. The costumes are spectacular and very, very large, beautiful. Some of them even light up.
Now I know I've seen there's some hidden things. I know last year there were some hidden things in float. Any hidden floats, things in the floats this year?
There's a hidden monkey somewhere on the Chinese float.
Ooh, a hidden monkey. Now, one thing I have to know, this event is centered around beads. Beads, beads, beads. How many beads do you guys go through on a given night?
I couldn't even tell you. It depends. It really depends on how good the float rider and the thrower is, because we always want them to give all the beads on the floats out. And sometimes people get those beads out, sometimes people don't. But our goal is to get as many beads out as possible. But the sheer numbers, I couldn't even say.
So it's up to you guys to get those beads.
My friends, let the good times roll. Yeah! The time to party has arrived. Hey, tell me something, mister.
Hey there, I'm here with Chef Jason, the corporate executive chef for Universal City Walk and Islands of Adventure, also the creator of Butterbeer. Any word on that?
No.
I didn't think so. So we're here actually talking about the food offerings here at Universal Mardi Gras. I know New Orleans and Mardi Gras is centered around Cajun cuisine and comfort food. Can you tell me some of the offerings that you have here at Universal for that?
Sure do. We have the jambalaya, our version, a beautiful version of jambalaya. We have gumbo, and we have the andouille sausage, both mixed into the jambalaya or on a nice French bread with some grilled peppers and onions, or straight away if you want it. We have poor boys, which is, again, on a nice crusty roll, either like fried shrimp with a remoulade sauce and some other things that will go along to make that nice. We do the king cake, which is, just full of colors, all the Mardi Gras colors, and the king cake has this whole story to it, but we do have that. And then pralines and hot beignets with tons of powdered sugar all over them, and those are the main dishes that we have. Yeah.
Now, do you have a specific favorite that you like?
Well, me personally, I've always enjoyed rice dishes, so a jambalaya to me is my favorite dish. It really is, and I do like a good gumbo. Yeah. And it's funny. The first time I had a really good gumbo, I was in New Orleans, and I had this bowl of gumbo, and I was amazed how good it was. So I actually got up and I went into the kitchen and I introduced myself to the chef, and I told him I was a chef at the time, and this goes many years back, and I asked him how he did it. And chefs, we just have a way of it's not like we don't really have these top secrets, so to speak. Maybe a few here or there, like with Butterbeer, but we but with the he showed me exactly what he did, and and I took that and I remembered that, and then we came here, and when it was time to, make the dish here, we used some of those techniques, and we created a great gumbo, and I do like that also, yeah.
All right, guys, we've had some great food, saw a great parade, and of course, Universal always ends with a big concert. In the next coming weeks throughout the event, we have Demi Lovato, Pitbull, Sean Kingston, but tonight it's Lifehouse.
No, you and I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah. Little thing I know has let me down, so I will just let go. And all that I found, you and I wouldn't change a thing. No, you and I wouldn't change a thing. No, you and I wouldn't change a thing. No, you and I wouldn't change a thing.
All right, so we had a great time here at Universal Mardi Gras. Come check it out on select nights through April 20th.
This week we're at Star Tours in Disney's Hollywood Studios. About halfway along the outside winding queue, a white classic Mickey is high on a tree trunk, just below the walkway platform for the Ewok village above. It's on the huge central tree, directly across from the Imperial Walker.
The next time you plan a Disney vacation, book with a travel agency that's been specifically designated as an authorized Disney vacation planner. Unlike some other agencies, many of our agents' exclusive knowledge of Walt Disney World can help you get the most out of your vacation. And the assistance of our travel professionals can help you get a customized Disney vacation that's just right for you, your family, and your budget. Start planning your magical vacation today by visiting mousefantravel.com.
Well, it doesn't happen often, but once in a while I've found myself in a moment where I think, I never in my life dared to imagine that I would be doing this right now. Well, that moment presented itself recently when Banks and I interviewed Kathryn Beaumont.
Now, for those of you who may not know, Kathryn Beaumont is the voice of both Wendy in Disney's Peter Pan and Alice in their version of Alice in Wonderland.
Alice and Wendy. She's only voiced two of history's most recognized literary characters. No big deal.
Oh, no, not at all, no. And neither is personally working with Walt Disney, the man.
Gracious, I can't even hardly handle my life right now. I'm so excited. Please, let's get to this interview. Well, Kathryn, we have a couple questions for you. The first one would be, how were you discovered by Walt Disney?
Oh, well, I actually was with MGM Studios at the time that Disney was looking for his Alice, and I was tested and, read the lines a few times for him, tested out, and he found my voice was the most suitable because he was looking for a voice that was pleasing to both American ears and British ears. And so that's how I got the role of Alice in Alice in Wonderland. And during the time that I was working on that role, of course, a lot of time was going by. It takes a lot longer to do an animated feature, and so I was doing that role for a good 2 years. And during the course of that time, Peter Pan was going to be the next animated feature. And so they were already thinking about the placing the characters in the roles, and they were realizing that I was pretty much going to be pretty much the same age that Wendy was, and of course it was another British role, and I was obviously British, so it almost was a given. Disney was very happy with what went on for my role with Alice, and so I just moved right into the role of Wendy as soon as Alice was finished, and that's my experience there with the studio.
Now, back in that day, Disney really pioneered the process of having a live model for the animators to animate from, and you were the live action model for both Alice and Wendy. And what was that process like?
It was a lot of fun. It really was. Yes, he, from the beginning, what they did need was the live action reference for the artists, because it's the human figure, and the human figure is the most challenging to draw. So they wanted to watch movements to see how the body reacted, the total body, and how things blended together so that the character would look more realistic, which was just so beautifully done by these great artists that were working at the time, the 9 old men who were in charge of the various different characters and played those characters, all the way through the story. So yeah, that's what happened with the live action. And when you think about what was done, there really wasn't live action with a set. You would go onto an empty stage. There was a giant blue screen surrounding the inside, and you really didn't have any props to speak of. Basically, if it was a tree and you were directed something about the tree, it was really just an art light. Or if you were scrambling over the woods or the hills, they would have planks on the ground at different levels so that you would run up and down those. So, there really was hardly anything there. You just imagined what it was like. But I had this opportunity to go to the storyboard conferences before the script and before the voice work part, and I could see the story and how it was going to evolve, or the scene and how it was going to evolve. So I would already know and be able to imagine much easier, because they had me sitting there so that I would understand what that scene was all about. And that was another exciting part of being part of that production.
As a child, I I just imagined that it was terribly exciting to be able to use your imagination in that way.
Yeah.
Now, with the two roles, Alice and Wendy, did you find that, which role did you prefer? If you preferred one at all, or did you find one more particularly challenging than the other?
Well, okay. Alice was more challenging because the Alice character was in every scene. And then Alice had to perform all sorts of gyrations because of the different things that happened to her. Getting very, very small, being too large, being in the bottle on the water. So they contrived all sorts of interesting things so that they could get those movements to look natural. So that was always a lot of fun. So that was the Alice part. The Wendy part, she was more of a supporting role. So she wasn't in as many scenes. Of course, Alice had to be in every scene because it was her story. So I wasn't as involved, but the nice thing was that there were other human beings to play against, because there were the parents, and there were the lost boys, and there were my brothers, and we were all working together. So we were able to interchange and have a friendship, which was really very nice. With Alice, it was more a soul performance. For the most part. Anyway, those were sort of the differences in contrasting the two roles. And then, of course, with the Wendy, it was the flying. And I did have a problem with being a little afraid of heights. And when I realized I was supposed to do this being attached with a wire and being raised up and floating back and forth to get all of those movements, I was thinking, I'm going to be up there. And of course, to me, the ceiling was way up there, and I'm thinking, I'm going up there and I have to look down there, and it's such a long way down. I don't think I can handle this. But I was given some really good help with the Peter Pan character, who was Roland Dupre, and he did the live action with me. And he said, okay, we're going to wire each other. We're going to put the wires on, both of us, and we're just going to go up a little bit, a couple of inches, and we'll just do some activity. And so we just had fun with that. And of course, what I didn't realize was that he was going up higher and higher and higher to the point where, when it was right even with what the camera would need, it wasn't that high up. And I was perfectly comfortable with it, so it was okay. So I got through that, and I was able to do all of those flight scenes very, very comfortably.
Working with Walt Disney, is something that, people nowadays you would love to go back and do. Do you have a favorite story of working with Walt?
Not a favorite story, it's just an impression, because I was so aware that he was such a visible part of the team. He was a team player. He wasn't the head of the studio who directed what was going to happen. He had the 9 old men, and they were wonderful animators, but they were also wonderful storytellers. And he would come in to the conferences, and sometimes he'd present an idea or maybe a slight change, and he'd say, I had an idea about doing this in this scene. Why don't you kick it around, boys, and see what you come up with? So then they would do that, and then he'd come back in and they would discuss it and decide whether it would be something great to put in or not so great, or maybe change it a little more. Everything to make the story a better story. But it was always in the team effort, and I think that was what I took with me from that experience as to who he was and what he was about.
Well, Kathryn, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Wow, thanks. That was so incredible.
She still sounds like Alice and Wendy.
She absolutely still does. I can't wait to go home and tell my kids that I spoke with Wendy and Alice, especially because Margot, when she was little, for a short time adopted a British accent because of Kathryn Beaumont.
Really?
Yes, she did. Because we watched Peter Pan and we watched Alice in Wonderland every day, multiple times a day. Parents out there, you know what I'm talking about when your child just has the same movie on loop. And so for a little while, she actually started to talk like a British child. She would walk around saying, "Look at the path," or things like this. And it took me a while to understand what was happening, and then I figured it out. She was pronouncing words the same way that Kathryn had pronounced them in the movies.
This really was an honor to be able to talk to her. Peter Pan Diamond Edition is out right now on Disney Blu-ray and DVD, so be sure to pick it up for yourself.
It's not often named as such, but some of the restaurants in Orlando's theme parks and resorts are arguably attractions in their own right. The problem is that it's never included in the price of admission, and every morsel adds up. But here's a tip to help minimize the impact on your wallet. Rather than making dinner the dining apex, why not make lunch the main event? Often enough, lunch entrees are basically the same as those at dinner. However, the prices on the lunch menu are notably less. Not only that, but it gives your stomach a few more hours in the day to work through that hefty meal. It's possible that when dinner time rolls around, you may not even be interested in anything more than a mere snack. And that sounds like a win-win situation to me.
Hey, we're back. It's our weekly giveaway.
Very exciting. Last week, we asked you to tell us which Florida theme park is your favorite and why. Thank you to everyone who sent in a response. This past week was such a treat. We felt like the teacher in A Christmas Story who asks her students to write theme papers on what they want for Christmas. Such poetry and passion behind these answers. Out of all the answers we received, the Magic Kingdom received the most votes, followed by a tie for second place for Epcot and Universal's Islands of Adventure. A+ is all around, but the winner of last week's challenge, chosen at random, is
Teresa Peak from Edgewater,
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay, I need to learn my geography because I didn't know MD was Maryland.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
We'll work on
that. She says, my favorite Florida theme park is the Magic Kingdom. This park has all types of rides for everyone in the family. I enjoy this park so much just for the walk down Main Street, sending chills down my body and looking at the faces of my kids as they do the same. I've been visiting Walt Disney World every year since my daughter was 4 and my son was 2. They are now 17 and 15 respectively. It never gets old and is always a new experience. Thanks for your magazine and your show. I love them both. You are amazing. And you are amazing, Teresa. Congratulations.
Yes, Teresa definitely gets an A+. You do not, for not knowing your your state abbreviations.
Maybe I need to go back to school. Well, Teresa, your Theme Park Connection t-shirt and commemorative Disney books will be arriving shortly. Now for this week's challenge, we want you to tell us what your favorite attraction is in all of Florida and why. When you send in your answer, you might be picked to receive tickets for 4 to the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex to see the Angry Birds Space Encounter.
That's right. Now we're doing something a bit different this week. Instead of emailing us, we want you to post your answer in the YouTube comments below this week's show. We need your comment by the end of the day, next Monday, February 18th, 2013. Please don't leave any of your personal information. We will contact you through YouTube if you're selected as the winner, and then we will get that information from you to mail you your prize. Now keep in mind that you can only enter once per week and you can only win once per year.
Now, we keep hearing from you, and we want you to hear from us. Our shout-outs this week start with YouTube subscriber Tina Sattler1, who saw our announcement about SeaWorld's Polar Plunge and wanted to let us know that she's been a part of the Special Olympics that the event supports. Tina, it's so fantastic to hear your involvement. We are wishing you the very best as you go for the gold.
Our next shout out is a dedication from YouTube viewer Jordan Fitch 93 to his girlfriend Portia. He can't wait to bring her to Orlando soon and watch the magic happen. Jordan, good luck with that, buddy. And we hope that you take away a bit of pixie dust from this episode.
Next, we're responding to a tweet from Blair Scott and Jack, the theme park injection team. Hey guys, this goes out from one theme park addict to another. Stay the course.
I'm saluting our YouTube viewer, the Tony458, who shares my remorse over losing TNA Wrestling at Universal Studios. We're taking a big hit with that one, Tony. Let's exchange condolences as we grieve our loss.
Well, let's not forget Michael, Lisa, Charlotte, and Sophie Roberts, who are arriving in Orlando today.
Yeah!
It's Michael's birthday, and the family booked the Richard Petty driving experience to celebrate after watching us cover it during an episode. Such a great choice, Michael. We hope you feed that need for speed. And happy birthday to you from all of us at Orlando Attractions Magazine.
And our last shout out for the week goes to YouTube viewer Iris L, who commented that teen reporter and my daughter, Margot, look so much like me. Iris, you wouldn't be the first to say that. She's been dubbed my mini-me by most of our friends and family, and I love hearing it every time. Also, thank you so much for watching all the way through the bloopers. Those weekly mess-ups are my family's favorite part of the show, too. Especially my kids. They love laughing at me.
Well, that's not nice. Stop laughing at your mom. Special thanks to Mouse Fan Travel, our choice of authorized Disney vacation planners. Let them plan your next trip at no extra cost. For a free quote without obligation, visit mousefantravel.com.
And much thanks to Theme Park Connection, where you can buy, sell, and trade theme park items. Visit the warehouse here in Winter Garden or online at themeparkconnection.com.
And when you do, please make sure to let them know that we sent you.
Also, don't forget that you can watch this show each and every week on YouTube, iTunes, and Bright House Cable. That's channel 300 in Central Florida and 340 in the Tampa area.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/attractionsmagazine. And we hope you'll follow us on Twitter, too, at Attractions. Now, JeniLynn and I love hearing from you guys, so please tweet to us regularly.
Not to be forgotten, you can visit attractionsmagazine.com for news and videos throughout the week and subscribe to the magazine itself. It's available in print, on the Nook, online, and in our iPhone and iPad apps. You can also pick up most of our back issues and save on shipping here at Theme Park Connection.
And for everyone who just can't get enough of Orlando Attractions Magazine, we now have t-shirts, mugs, bags, and a few other doohickeys available for purchase online. Simply head to zazzle.com/attractions, that's ZAZZLE.com/attractions, to get your hands on the very items y'all been asking us for.
You can even buy a mug just like this one. Well, you asked for it, we delivered it, and that brings us to the end of another episode of the show.
But shed no tears. We'll be back next week with more of Orlando's best, just for you.
It will be hard to hold out until then, but to make the time pass a bit more quickly, y'all need to get out there and
have fun!
Secret blooper of the week.
This week, Mardi Gras is the main event at Universal Studios.
And the voice of Wendy speaks with us. Speaks. She speaks.
She speaks. The voice speaks.
So we had we do. Keep going. All right, so we had a great time here at Universal Mardi Gras.